Hi, my name is Cici. Welcome to my channel. If you are new, thank you for stopping by, and if you're returning, thank you for coming back. So I am fresh. I just came home from 2 Goodwills, and I got great items. So let's take a look. The first Goodwill I went to is in Savannah on Victory Drive. And they have good shoes and purses there. I usually really luck out there. So I don't even remember what I got. I'm going to show you when I empty this bag. I'm going to show you this awesome bag that I bought there. Usually when they offer, they offer you, oh, do you want to buy a bag for all that stuff? I'm like, no, I have my own bag. But they had such a cool one today, I actually took them up on it. So I got this bag. It was $5.49. It's a black leather bag, but the brand is Tano, which was kind of new to me. I've not sold it before, but the pebble grain leather caught my eye and the name rung a bell. So I decided to go ahead and pick that up. It needs a little bit of leather cream on it. I don't want to go too heavy because it actually kind of has that rustic look. But I think those were going for like 30, 25, 30. This pair of shoes I was on the fence about. The brand is Earth. And they're like a Mary Jane with Velcro. They're brown leather, Velcro, closure, Mary Jane. And they just kind of have that, maybe someone who wore the legging look attire would wear a shoe like this. But they're well made. The stitching is good. There's a little bit of scuffing at the toes. But the comps were decent on them. I think I'll get at least 25 for them. And those set me back $6.99. Then my next pair of shoes was St. John. They were $6.99. If you know that brand, you know that it's a good brand. I just sold a pair of St. John white heels, sort of similar to this last week, that I had gotten actually on Shop Goodwill. But these are in good shape. They just have general signs of wear. And they are size 8.5. Then I got another pair of St. John. They were in the same bin. This one's basically the same heel height. It's a tannish beige with black cap toe. And of course they're leather, and those are just size 8 regular. Then I got, this brand was actually new to me, and I found 3 pairs of these. I decided only to pick up one, but they're Paul Mayer Attitudes, and when I looked at comps, a lot of ballet flats. This is a quilted patent leather with a little sort of ribbon at the top there. And they're in good shape, and they sell well enough. I think this might be a slower moving brand, but they were $6.99, and I decided to go for it. So this brand was also new to me. The comps were good. It's a purple kind of pointy toe ballet flat, and there's a little wear to the suede there, but I think I can work that out with some leather cleaner. So the brand is Belle, B-E-L-L-E, for Sigerson Morrison. So I looked on Poshmark, and the comps were okay. They weren't super great, but I always, when I see a sole like this, like quality shoes have that type of sole, so I always look at shoes when I see that. Yeah. And then I found, as I was leaving, I doubled back on the scarf and purse wall because I hadn't really looked at the scarves much. And I found this Lily Pulitzer, and her scarves are usually silk. Yeah, this is a silk blend, 51% silk, 49% cashmere. So, and that set me back $2.99. Then I got this pair of Moschino, which is a good brand. Is the light catching that? It's got the heart there. And it's just a kind of hunter or pine green. There's a little wear right there where that's coming, but I'll glue that up with my shoe glue. And the size on those are, I'm not seeing a size. So a secret to where this brand puts their sizing, unless it was in the vamp area and it wore off, but I don't see a size on these anywhere. So, and then I got this, the brand on this was the pirate dressing. And it's a velvet velour type top with that kind of button panel. And then the back, it's not laced all the way up right now, but this winds through and it laces, you know, like pirate wear would. And it's size extra, extra large. And it's got a little elastic at the hemline. So I looked those up and they do all right. I mean, it's obviously a piece someone would get to wear for a costume, but yeah. And then the best thing I got was a Longchamp bag. So this was by a fake Louis Vuitton. This guy and I were there and I showed him kind of how to look up Louis Vuitton. It was the Louis Vuitton Sistina bag. And they'd done a decent copy, but there were details that made it clear. Like the one that I saw online had like more of the finish on the inside was more, I'm not coming up with the right material, but velvety, for lack of my memory of recalling the right term. And like this fake bag had LV, where on the Louis Vuitton one it actually said Louis Vuitton. So right by that was this Longchamp bag, which I've never found that brand before, so totally exciting. So I thought, oh, well, that's going to be a fake too, because they were in one of those carts. Like sometimes, you know how Goodwill puts the purses and shoes in a cart and just rolls it to the floor. It was in one of those. So I grabbed it when I saw Longchamp on the strap, and I looked at a bunch of them online, and it's the real deal. So I'm going to show you the tag. So this is and it has this the Longchamp emblem, but the tag is like that. And it threw me off because it says made in Tunisia. And I was like, oh, well, okay, that's a fake, because the ones that I looked in, you know, a few of them said made in France or made in China. But I went on to the Purse Forum blog. If you ever need to find out authenticity details about a bag, the Purse Forum blog is a great place to go and just search it. I've asked questions there before. But long story short, yes, bags by Longchamp have been made in Tunisia. So this is it's a small black, sort of, it's not quite a satin finish, but maybe a glossed fabric, and it's like that. And then it's got a little green suede underneath. And it's just something like, I might use it the next time I travel if it hasn't sold yet. But yeah, and that was $5.49. They were selling bags to carry all this in. So I got this beautiful I Love Goodwill bag, and it's huge. And I might switch it up and make this, I have a beat up old tacky expandable bag from, I think it's like Home Goods or something, that I've been using literally for like 2 years to drag my stuff back and forth to the post office. So I don't know, I think this might be my new bag, but $1.99, how cute is that? So that is what I got at that Goodwill on Victory Drive, and I spent $66.22 on those items. So I'm really happy with that. And because I had such a good run there, on my way home, I stopped at, there's a Goodwill, a little small Goodwill on Ogeechee Road in a strip mall by like a Kroger and Starbucks and all that. So I stopped there. And I'm going to show you the stuff I got last. I had 2 purchases there because on my way out, I saw something else, but my arms were so full of what I had gotten, I couldn't grab it, so I came back in. And then they were closing, and the 2 other people had gotten in line, so the line was long, so I started roaming around. So I found 3 more things besides the big lot that I got. But these 3 things came to $6.39, and this is Hello Kitty. This is a Hello Kitty, one of those like soup or latte mugs, and that was 99 cents. So I think Hello Kitty has a little dedicated following. It's the actual brand, if you can see that. I got this. I looked at the tumblers and coffee mugs just because sometimes they're all right. This was $2.99, and the brand, it's Studio O, like Studio OH, and then there's an exclamation point after it. But they seem to do well. I saw some new ones for like $30 or so. So since this was, well, there's still a little bit of water in the bottom of that. That's gross. Anywho, it's in good shape. I will run it through my dishwasher, but it's got kind of a unique print with like eyes and hands, and I don't know what the significance of that is, but they seem to have a little eclectic mix. And this is the piece that I saw on the way out the door that made me come back in. This is Amy Kestenberg, which is a good brand. It's just a simple see-through clear cosmetic bag, but it's a good size and it's in good shape. I just need to run it through some Dawn dish soap and shine it up. But yeah, I mean, this was $1.99, so I think that would be okay. So those are the things I got on the way out the door. But these are men's, and they're ASOS or ASOS, and they are size, they're size 10.5 men's, and they're just like a kind of chukka with the gore there, and I guess kind of like a lug. Yeah, it's a lug sole. But I thought for $9, I mean, I can post them for $40. There's a little bit of wear at the toe box of each, but it's not, I mean, you can only see it close up. It's not terrible. So I thought that was a solid buy for men. This is a Acadia purse. I've sold one before, or excuse me, not Arcadia. But it's one of those, it's a desirable name brand. And it's just a black, like a smaller satchel. They usually have this glossed patent finish like this, and that was $5.49. Good shape, good brand, no brainer. Then this I was on the fence about. This is a Vera Bradley lunch cooler. It's in great shape, super cute. When I opened it, it actually had a Tupperware container with like there's food residue in there, so I just set that back in the bin. But it has an adjustable strap. It's got a kind of funky Vera Bradley print. And it's got that nice, like, lining over the print. And the inside is, there's, like, it's clean. That's just a sticker, like a banana sticker. Oh, that's funny. So, and then it's got, it had the Vera Bradley logo, there on the little tag. So that was $5.99, so it's kind of a lot. You know, I don't know, I guess. I did look them up, and they did all right. I didn't have time to do a deep dive, of course, because I was rushing. But I don't know. I think it's nice, and for someone who likes Vera Bradley, it's in great condition. Like there's nothing wrong with it at all. Then I got this pair of Vionic. I like picking up Vionic, and these are in great shape. They're just like a silver driving. They're not a driving loafer because they don't have those little nubs there, but they do have. So they have like this one has a bunch of like pet hair in the footbed. So I'm going to vacuum that out really well. But they are size, Vionic is known for their insoles are very comfortable. These are size 9. But yeah, besides that, they're in great shape. Those were $6.99. It has a small, like there's a small scratch marking right there. But these are cute. I mean, these Vans I did comps on. I mean, they were going for like $50. I didn't have time to, I'm going to stop saying that. Obviously, I didn't have time. The store was closing. They are size 10 men's and women's. You know how they do the size for men and women? The women's, they actually left blank on this one. But they're like a splotchy kind of tie-dye. They're in good shape. They did have them at $14.99, but because the comps seemed to be all right, I went for it. I mean, if I have to let them sit there and wait for the right buyer that's willing to pay the price to make it worth my while, I would do that. Then I got this pair of Clarks. I'm a sucker for a riding boot, and these are riding boots. They're brown leather riding boots. They zip at the interior shaft, and they're called Clarks Bendables. They're in good shape, just a basic brown riding boot. I do have a lot of brown boots, both riding and ankle height for sale in my Poshmark closet right now. So I'm really careful about what I pick up brown boot wise because I think black boots sell better. But Clarks has a loyal customer base, and I've sold Clarks before. I think I've sold all the Clarks I have except one weird pair of pink sandals. But these are size 8.5. And yeah, they're in good shape. I mean, they have little wear marks, but it's just part of the character of the boot. They've got the little brushed gold accent there, so yep. And then those were $8.99. Then I tried to look up this brand. I think it's a good brand. My fingers are crossed that it's a good brand. It's a red bag. It's like a little mini backpack, and it's convertible, so you can carry it like that, or you can also wear it as a backpack. But the brand is Fedon, Fedon. And from what I could tell, it's a good brand. It was one of those things that was sort of difficult to look up. I wished I had more time. But it's just basically like that on the inside. If it turns out to be nothing, maybe I'll keep it for myself. It's a good, convenient size for running around and thrifting, etc. But it's in great shape. There's nothing wrong with it. So I'll have to do a little bit more research on that before I post it. It's got this nice, shiny silver hardware. So it's well made. Like, you can feel, it's kind of like a soft windbreaker material. I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's not leather, but it's definitely waterproof. And that was $5.49. Then I got this pair of sandals. I don't think it's a very well-known name, but I think they're really well made. They're like Huarache style. It says hand woven. They're sun stops. They're like a Huarache sandal. They're men's size 8.5, 6.5. Men don't have a size 6.5, 8.5. So, I mean, maybe they're women's. If they are, they're really wide. I think these are men's 8.5, which is a very small men's size, I think. But I could tell they were a quality piece or a quality pair of shoes, and they're hand woven, so I went for it. And that was at a cost of $6.99. So there's that. Then I got this pair. I just went on color and quality. This is a nice glazed leather. They're in really good shape. They've got that nice sole, but they're Florsheim, which is an old school brand. So, and what I could not tell in the store is if these are men's or women's. And does Florsheim make women's shoes? Did they? Are they even still around? I know it's like a vintage thing, but I know they make a lot of men's shoes, and I'm thinking these are men's. But the size is 8E, and they're leather, but they're just a beautiful burgundy glossed leather. What I'll do to figure out what size they are, I wear 8.5, so if they are 8.5 men's, they'll be too big on me, and if they're 8.5 women's, they'll fit. But I'm pretty confident that they're men's. They're really sharp. Like, if someone, you know how there's like a thinner man that wears like this, like a nice pair of pants and shirt. This would look really slick with that, or a little wool lightweight coat. So yeah, and they really are in great shape. And those were $8.99. And then the last thing I got was a Kate Spade bag. It needs some work. It really needs some work. But it was the first thing I saw, so it was $10. It was $9.99. I looked it up. The comps looked good. Kate Spade doesn't sell for what she used to, but it has the little satchel handles, and then it's got the crossbody strap. It's got gold hardware. But the reason it was still sitting there is someone spilled makeup inside of it, and I'm going to pull it out and show you guys. But it's like that. So for what I do when I run into bags like that, if it's a good brand, I don't pass it up. I put it over my laundry sink and get whatever detergent is going to work best in this situation. I think I'm probably going to use some Air detergent, but I run water. So I just take it out like this and hold it over the sink, and I basically shampoo and wash that part and use a scrubbing brush if necessary. And then I get some sort of hanger like that, and I hang it upside down until the lining dries. And I've cleaned up so many bags that way with makeup stains and just markings on the inside. And even if the bag is leather, if you're not washing the exterior, and it only really works if the interior pulls out like this. You know how some bags, the bag lining is actually attached and you can't pull it up and out. But this one you can. I checked in the store, so I'm going to wash that up, and I think I'll be able to make a little decent profit on that for having spent $10. So that's what I got, and that last batch, that set me back $88. That's kind of a lot. So I'm definitely going back in on the bins. I have spent a lot of money here. It's like $140, $150 with all three of those receipts combined. And that's too much. Like, I could get a lot more for that kind of money at the bins. But I also feel like these were solid items. I'm trying to post items that are more in demand. I've had history of picking up items that were maybe cute to me, but they weren't branded, or they were cute, but they were, you know, smaller, extra smaller, petite. My next trip will definitely be to a bins location though, because I've really spent a lot this last week at the regular Goodwill. So that's about all I have today. I thank you so much for stopping by and listening. If you made it this far through, please give me a nice big old thumbs up, and I will see everybody soon. All right, bye. Really nice thing about this haul that I got today, I don't think I got any surprise flaws. Like, I knew about the flaw inside of the Kate Spade bag, but if you've watched my other videos, and when I'm going through stuff, I try to do these videos right away when I get home from the thrift. I'm usually finding holes and stains or whatever. No surprises.